All right, everybody. Better late than never. I wasn't going to stand you up 2 nights in a row. Technology is working just fine this evening. We were just on TV for a little bit because we have this severe thunderstorm that's been going on into parts of Stanislaus and San Joaquin County. This storm moved right through Modesto with what could have been some large hail. Part of why I want to come on live is it gives me a chance to get in touch with you. If you are in Modesto, if you're in Riverbank, if you're in Del Rio, even Salida, and you saw this storm go through over the last 30 minutes, let me know what you saw. Jump in the comments. Let me know if you got any photos or video, and you can share them in the comments. Put them in there. Go ahead. And if you would like us to use them on TV, we just need you to put in text that we have your permission to do so. But this is the latest radar scan, not picking up on quite as much hail, which is good, but still some heavy rain, some lightning as this cell moves through the Escalon area. So this is what this has looked like over the last 30 minutes. That big blob of purple that you see, that was the radar picking up on some of the hail as it moved south to north. Just now moving to the east of Escalon, right over Highway 120. If you're in Oakdale, you're likely seeing some of the showers, hearing some of the thunder. Sky got pretty dark. Of course, I'm not just talking about sunset either. But this severe thunderstorm warning technically goes for another 3 minutes. We will see if the National Weather Service continues that or extends it. But it does look like these storms are kind of falling apart, which is good to see here this evening. San Joaquin Valley has been a busy spot throughout the day today. We had a tornado warning in parts of Fresno and Madera County. Did not see confirmation of a tornado in that area, but the radar was picking up on some rotation. So these are storms just to the east of Merced and Merced County, getting up into Mariposa County. Nothing in Tuolumne County yet. We are starting to see lightning getting close to Amador and Calaveras County. Wallace, you're starting to get in on some of that thunder and lightning. Galt, this is just missing you so far. Lodi, the rain is coming up from the south. Lockford, the rain just starting for you. Radar not indicating any hail in these cells here as they move along Highway 12, parts of I-99, and head northward towards Ione. Cameron Park, a quick little shower there. And a couple little showers in Placer County. Little thunderstorm popping up into western Plumas County. This is what you see here. Actually, you can see the radar pretty clear there near Oroville. This is all just noise. We call it attenuation. So basically the radar beam getting kind of caught up in some of the low-level moisture. It's pretty common around sunset. Do have some thunderstorms up into Shasta and Tehama and Siskiyou County. But these cells have easily been some of the stronger ones. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning technically goes for another 2 minutes. I would imagine the National Weather Service will take that down at the time. Erica, you can email me. I'm heather.waldman@hearst.com. Or you could email news, NEWS, @kcra.com. And that'll get to our news team. And Erica, you can also share in the comments too. I'm just curious to hear or read what you've been seeing out that way. All right, so we'll stay on radar for another minute here. We'll just see if the Weather Service allows that to expire. But all of this is going to be moving north. So if you are tuning in from, say, Plymouth, Cameron Park, Placerville, Slough House, Fair Oaks, Carmichael, Folsom, Roseville, Rockland, Auburn, Georgetown, Lincoln, the energy in the atmosphere that's triggering these thunderstorms, that's all moving northward. So over the next couple of hours, we'll be tracking these thunderstorms. I know if you've got little kids that are getting ready to go to bed, if you got pets that don't like thunder, just an early heads up there that this is going to be headed in your direction. All right, it's now 8:15, and that polygon no longer there. All right, so we no longer have any active severe thunderstorm warnings. Good to see. But as I mentioned in the beginning of the post, this is sort of just the beginning. Tomorrow we're going to see much more widespread activity. And I think the thunderstorms will kind of have the same flavor. where we've got plenty of cool air. We'll have some daytime heating. And I think we'll get back into some hail, some gusty winds, and a lot of lightning tomorrow afternoon and the early part of the evening. So Dirk and I were busy today in the Weather Center. I think we're going to be busy tomorrow as well. All right, so we're going to switch from tracking what's going on right now to showing you what's going to be coming up over the next couple of days, because our Futurecast, our high-resolution forecast model, it can now see all the way out through Sunday evening at this point. So day by day, we've been getting more and more information on what we're expecting. We've been able to fine-tune the forecast a little bit. So we'll go through it hour by hour. I'm doing my best to scan through the comments as they come through. Right now, just kind of keeping an eye on my page. I set this up really quickly, so I didn't actually, usually I grab my computer so I can keep an eye on multiple streams at once. But just keep an eye on my Facebook page for the time being. If you're watching from the KCRA page and you're commenting or asking questions, I'm going to go through and check in on them afterwards. That's something I can do fairly easily. So this is Futurecast. This is midnight tonight. I think it's underdoing some of these cells a little bit. I think we'll see something a little bit feisty along into the east of I-5, somewhere between I-5 and Highway 49 through tonight. See how that kind of keeps it up. This is 2 a.m. More of those thunderstorms going in some of the higher elevations. Morning commute tomorrow. I think I-5 and Highway 99, fairly quiet. Parts of 49, 80, 50, 88, 108, 4. Just start naming off a bunch of numbers. Highway 20, 70. You'll see some hit and miss showers, but in the morning, there are not going to be issues with thunderstorms. We are not going to see issues with snow in the Sierra yet. That'll be coming later this weekend. But if you're headed westward, Lake County, parts of Colusa, Glen, Yolo County, you could be getting into some of those heavier showers first thing in the morning. Look at what happens, though, as we go into, so this is 1 o'clock. These could be cells not unlike what we just saw in Stanislaus and San Joaquin County, where we get some isolated but strong cells with some hail, some heavy rain. And notice where this is going through. This is going right through Yuba County, right over Placer County. So a lot of populated areas, a lot of busy spots on a Friday afternoon, evening. The weather is going to be busy in those areas. This is 6 o'clock Friday evening. Keep in mind, Futurecast may be kind of underpainting some of these a little bit, so it may still be somewhat stormy from San Joaquin County up into Plumas County. At this point, we may start to get a little bit of snow over the Sierra summits. But if you are going to be driving in the mountains, I think tomorrow we're not going to see issues with chain controls, and I think most of Saturday, we'll call it doable. We may get into chain controls at times on Saturday, but we're not going to see these big, long backups that could take up half the day. I think that's going to be very different Saturday night into Sunday. I think that's when we get into that. So here's 8 o'clock Saturday morning. We're kind of in a little bit of a lull. It will be cool, it will be cloudy. We'll have some of those snow showers going over the Sierra summits. I don't think we see much of anything at lake level at this point. So Saturday morning, fairly quiet, but we'll start to get into some of these, we'll call them isolated showers, maybe a thunderstorm into the early part of the afternoon. But your bigger concern on Saturday is going to be this. This is a cold front. Out ahead of it, it will get breezy. We're not expecting damaging winds, but again, breezy. Not the day for a bike ride. Probably not the day to fly a kite either, just with the rain coming through. But watch what happens as this moves through the central part of the valley, maybe sometime around 7 or 8 o'clock. Keep in mind, we're 3 days out. The timing on this is going to shift by a couple of hours. It always does. That's not us being wrong. That's the model getting new data and adjusting its expectations. But look at what happens as this front goes up into the Sierra. It's not a coincidence that as that front hits the mountains, we see the snow level plunge and we see the snowfall rates pick up. So that front going to put a lot of energy into the Sierra, and we're going to see that snow level come down, maybe even as low as about 4,000 feet, not for long. So if you're watching from Pollock Pines, if you're watching from Fresh Pond, if you're in Twain Harte, Sonora, I don't think you get any snow. If you're in Quincy, up in Plumas County, I think this will get you a few inches of snow overnight Saturday into Sunday. But watch how as we go into the daylight hours on Sunday, the snow kind of breaks up a little bit. I do think we'll be in chain controls most of the day on Sunday. And then look at this, 6:30 Sunday morning. These are more showers. I don't know that we're not going to see thunderstorms to the tune of what we're seeing now on Sunday, but there will be some downpours. And Sunday's just going to be a cool day. Temperatures are going to stay in the 50s all day long in the valley. There may be some spots in the foothills that are stuck in the 40s, especially as you go up around, 2,000 or 3,000 feet. So when you have air that's that chilly and you get some downpours coming through, you might see, call it some small hail, maybe a little bit of graupel, maybe a little bit of sleet. Sunday's just going to be, it's going to be an unsettled day too. I know even just a few days ago, things were looking more isolated, but over the last day or so, the storm just coming in a lot stronger. So our expectations for rain here going up. Which, timing-wise, with a weekend, it's April. I've had people asking about weddings, parties. Yeah, this is a bummer, especially given how dry and gorgeous it was in March. Yeah, kind of a little switcheroo here. But, at the end of the day, this rain, this snow, this is going to be beneficial. After how dry March was, it's kind of a relief to see a little bit of this. So we're going to get some good snow numbers, but people have also been asking, is this going to, we saw with the snow survey, what was it just last week, some pretty dismal numbers, and they haven't gotten any better. This is going to kind of reverse course a little bit, but it's not going to get us back to 100%, not by any means. But still, you get a good 1 to 2 feet of snow, which is possible at the summits going into the second week of April. That's good. If we can keep that locked up there, even just for a couple of weeks, that pushes off fire season a couple weeks longer. That allows just a little bit more runoff to come in the reservoirs just a little bit longer. So it's not going to change sort of the tone of the season. That's already behind us. But anything that we get into April is just kind of a bonus. So that's good to see. Put a lot of graphics together today. Just sifting through trying to find what I want. All right, let's call up snow totals. So we put these together yesterday, and when Dirk and I were formulating these numbers, our approach to snow forecasting, especially 3, 4, 5 days out, is always to go on the conservative end, so on the low end of our numbers. I didn't change them today. These are the numbers I had yesterday. I still feel good about them today. Over a foot of snow at Donner Summit, close to a foot of snow possible at Echo Summit, 1 to 2 feet at Ebbets and Sonora Pass. Of course, the difference maker there is just the elevation. So this is good. Keep in mind some of those resorts. I know some of them are still open. Up above 8,000 feet, they'll get even bigger numbers. So the resorts that are still open, maybe they can move some stuff around, get some trails reopened for a little bit. So this is good. We may see some flakes down in the Pollock Pines. This would be, while most of us are sleeping Saturday night, nothing that would actually accumulate or stick around. Blue Canyon around 5,000 feet. We'll see 4 to 8 inches of snow. Pretty good snowfall there at 5,000 feet for this time of the year. Tahoe area, we're on the east side of the Sierra Crest. We tend to see less precipitation over lakeside, but still, enough to kind of put some snow back on the ground. That'll be good to see there too. I've had some people asking about rain totals. I have actually been kind of intentional about not sharing, a map with forecasted rain totals. Part of the reason why is because most of the rain that we're getting is so hit and miss, right? Somebody today probably got well over 1/4 of an inch of rain. If you're in Stanislaus or San Joaquin County, most places got absolutely nothing. Tomorrow's going to be a day where some places could pick up a quick 1/2 inch of rain. If you're in the foothills, maybe 1 inch of rain throughout the day. Some places will not get much of anything. So kind of broad brushing it isn't going to paint, the most accurate picture. But this will end up being a beneficial rainfall for the valley. Good rain into the foothills too. It's just coming with thunder, lightning, hail, things that we want you to take guard from. And if you want to label a severe weather season for California, this is kind of it, because air at the surface is starting to warm up as the days get warmer, but you still get these shots of cooler air higher up that just keep things unstable. So if we're in a severe weather season, this is kind of it, and we're getting a little taste of that right now. All right, Lainey saying it poured in West Stockton 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I bet. We watched it on radar. Ish is asking about Ione for tomorrow. Ione, Jackson, Sacramento, Stockton, wherever you are tomorrow in Northern California. Scattered showers will start picking up in the morning. Be ready for some scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. Because they're scattered, they pop up at random, right? Our forecast models are good. They're not perfect. So I can't guarantee that you're going to get a thunderstorm in Ione, but I will say the chances are pretty high, being on the east side of the valley and into the lower foothills. So-ish, I would be ready for some potential thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Ryan's asking about my training rides. Yeah, I ride, I run, I swim. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any of that this weekend because I'll actually be traveling, but that's enough about me. Patty's asking about rain around 1 p.m. in Fair Oaks on Saturday. Let's go back to the model. And again, Patty reminding you that this model does a good job, but it's not perfect. And since we are talking about Saturday, we're 2 days out. There's time for that to change. So Fair Oaks, I mean, there may be some quick showers moving through on Saturday. We're not into the, prolonged rain. So Patty, whatever you're doing on Saturday afternoon in Fair Oaks, if you can have some flexibility, maybe, wait 10, 15 minutes, let a shower go by, I think you'll have a fair amount of dry time, but it'll just be kind of unsettled. That heavier rain isn't going to come through the central part of the valley until probably closer to sunset, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. Elena, what time is it going to start raining in Sacramento? Yeah, and again, these are specific questions where if we were, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't even have, Patty, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was on camera that entire time. Well, this is what the radar could look like at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, just tough to tell with these hit and miss thunderstorms when and where it will start raining. I will say anybody in the valley and the foothills needs to be aware of the possibility of rain to start, I would say mid-morning, and then for some of those thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. That starts tomorrow, and then rain becomes much more widespread as we get into Saturday evening. Chris is checking in from Tracy. Chris, you had a good view of those storms just off to your east. All right, let's go back to the radar. All right, so no active warnings at the moment. But we are starting to see this heavier cell start to build up. Right over Summerhome, just to the south of Collegeville. This is to the east of French Camp, although you had your own downpour go through. And this cell should just clip Stockton to the east. But again, radar not picking up on any hail with this. This is going to be moving into Sacramento County over the next hour or so. So we'll keep an eye on that. Little cell moving up towards Quincy. It's been kind of bubbly in Plumas County today, parts of Sierra County, eastern Yuba County, Butte County, although Butte, Tehama, even Shasta County starting to clear things out as everything moves to the north for the time being. But the low that's triggering this busy weather is sitting just off the coast. So that's still going to be there tomorrow, which is how we know we're going to be busy tomorrow. All right, so no active warnings right now. We'll see if anything pops up. If they do, I'm going to jump on TV first. Do my best to keep up here on social media. What else? We'll definitely be on TV on KQCA at 10 o'clock tonight from 10 to 11, and then KCRA tonight at 11 to 11:30. I'll bring you the latest radar, any reports that we get from Stanislaus or San Joaquin County, photos, videos, all that good stuff. So send that to us now to give us time to get everything ready, get it in the show. And then, of course, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow, an impact day, we're going to see widespread showers and some stronger thunderstorms in the afternoon. Saturday, there will be breaks. I think a lot of the daylight hours will have some dry breaks, not completely dry. Then in the evening, we get into some of that heavier rain, some gusty winds, eventually some heavy snow that's going to take us through Saturday night into Sunday. So 3 KCRA 3 weather impact days in a row. Just days we want you to be heads up for the weather. Be flexible with your plans. If you hear that thunder, get inside as quickly as you can. And yeah, stick with us. Let us know what you're seeing. Be safe. Next week looks nice again, quiet. So we'll enjoy the rain, enjoy the snow.